Hey streets,
Hey streets, we're back.
we're back. Queen T, Miss K, back with another one.
Happy February.
Oh, it's February.
February flew by, as
Like
always.
it's almost the end. Okay, so for you, did January go by so slow?
Always.
Like I was like, it's still January, and
Always.
now like it's almost March. I'm like, what's going on? And I know February is a short month,
Uh-huh.
but still,
Right.
I'm like, where's the
Always.
time?
Seriously. So how have you
So
been?
I've been good. I was about to tell the streets that my friend has a birthday coming up.
I do. A weird one, but birthday nonetheless. I'm blessed.
Why is it weird?
32 it's interesting. I don't know. It's a blessing though. I'm blessed. I can't complain. So happy early birthday to me.
Yes. Happy early birthday. You have any plans for your birthday?
Uh, none. I normally like to go somewhere, but I'm not going anywhere this year. Um, Something light, maybe just dinner. Something, maybe do like a paint and sip, but
Oh,
nothing
that's cute.
major. Mm-hmm.
I've always wanted to do one of those. Well, I got something planned for you.
Huh?
I got something planned for you. FYI. Just throwing that
Really?
out there. Yeah. Just FYI.
Okay, guys. T's in Georgia. I'm in Connecticut, so I'm interested. Okay. Okay.
Just a little FYI. You know, I'll be popping out with the random stuff every once in a while. So
I love it.
no,
Okay.
I saw something the other day that reminded it wasn't the other day. I actually got this months ago.
Uh-huh.
Um, and it reminded me so much of you.
What was it?
And I was like, of course I'm not going to tell you. But, but I was like, I had like this is so Miss K that I have to
Really?
get it. I had to pick it up right then and there.
Ooh.
And yeah, so
Ooh, I'm excited now.
I'm
Thanks,
missing that up. I'm missing that up to
bro. Thank you.
Connecticut.
Thank
Of
you.
course. Of course.
But yeah, guys, I'll be 32.
I
Do
feel
you
like
have
that's a fun year.
It is. It is. Honestly, my 30s, like, I can't complain. Like, I think I said this before, but I'm enjoying my 30s more than I did my 20s. I just feel more
Mm,
like settled in a weird way.
yes.
Like, I don't know, it's just a more settling feeling, and I just feel more sure of myself. And
Mm,
even though I had fun in my 20s, like, I had
hmm
fun, but I definitely feel the shift in my 30s, and I'm enjoying it.
Yes, I agree with that.
I don't reg-
100%.
I don't regret my 20s. I don't regret the fun, the good times, and all of that. But I guess every decade has its purpose. Like,
Mm,
that's that.
that's a fact. How's your 2020 going so far?
It's going pretty well. I mean, besides like the crazy things that we hear, people passing away, Kobe,
Oh,
Pop
yes.
Smoke today. This won't be out, current, like, it won't be out the day that he passed away, but whenever it is released, he died actually today.
Hmm
And of course, a few people I know having some, like, some serious things going on, but just trying to stay positive
Right.
and prayerful, and but that kind of stuff does hit you, and it's definitely tough.
Yes, absolutely. Prayers out to Kobe's family and the families of the other
Mm-hmm.
people that passed away in that helicopter crash. That was so sad. Like,
Mm-hmm.
just I remember that day and I remember hearing about him. And then when I heard about the daughter,
I
like,
know.
that just blew my mind
I
in a horrible
know.
way. You know what I mean? Like I
Mm-hmm.
just felt I felt bad for not just his family but the players. You know what I mean?
Right,
Like
right.
he just influenced so many people, even people that don't play basketball. Like,
Right, right.
and everybody's talking about the Mamba mentality now.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yep.
it's just like he's just so influential and it's always just like it just shuts down the world when something like that. When somebody's so legendary is
Right,
just not with us anymore. The good thing
right.
is that he did leave a legacy. You know what I mean? Like he
Yes.
left
Mm-hmm.
an inspiration inside of people. So thank you for that,
Right.
Kobe, and we will miss
Definitely.
you. And this pop smoke thing is just like I'm not even going to pretend to know I knew who this guy was,
Mm-hmm.
but um, just like the events surrounding it and how it happened, it's just
Mm-hmm.
like can we do something? You know what I mean? Can we live our lives and be great at something without people trying to tear us down? It's just like It's sad. And it's our own people. It's sad.
Right. He was 20 years old, right?
20,
Mm-hmm.
20 years old. And we were just talking about, how much fun we had in our 20s and, you
Right,
know,
right, right.
we're turning 32 and stuff like that. And it's
Uh-huh.
like, he didn't even get to touch 20, basically, he didn't get to touch his 20s.
I know.
And it's just, and he has so much going for him. You know what I mean? Like, it's sad. We have to just enjoy and embrace every single day, especially with the ones that we love. Like, we have to. It's just a constant reminder that you
Yes.
just never know. You
Yes.
never know.
Yes. That's why it's hard for me to really complain about age, even though sometimes, I think it's natural to get that feeling like, woo, I'm getting up there. But
Right.
honestly, so soon after that, I'm like, you know what? It's a blessing. Like, I have friends who didn't make it to 15 years old, 16 years old. There's
Mm,
plenty of people that, that have passed as infants and children, so it's just like, I am grateful for every day I have. Like, girl, I got some gray hair. I got some gray hair in the front.
right.
I dyed it, but to be fair, I'm like, whoa, what's going on here? But you know what? It's a blessing. Like,
Yep.
I'm so blessed. Like, we're both so blessed to be here in chapter 30, and beyond, God willing. But like you said, it's a constant reminder.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, now that we got that out there,
I know it's so heavy.
it is. It is.
I want to say one
But
thing too.
yeah, go ahead.
Um, as we mentioned in, I think, self-awareness episode 2 of season 1, like, we were talking about like being mindful of the things that you see online and just taking breaks. I do want to just
Mm,
implement that here because I have to do it myself. Like, whenever social media or the news gets really heavy, I have to take a step back because some people, it can get like, it can get really heavy for you, and it can take you
yeah.
somewhere that you may not want to go. So just be mindful of how you feel, because us just scrolling by, taking in so much bad news, like, that has an effect on us whether we know it or
Hmm.
not. So I just wanted to say that, like, because I know the day that Kobe passed, oh my gosh, like,
Oh my gosh.
everybody was just so down, and it was just like, it was just, I mean, granted, I could imagine the pain of his family and the families of, the other families that were on the helicopter.
Hmm.
But,
That things like this can be traumatic, and it can be overwhelming, especially when it just you go on social media and you just seeing the same thing over and over and over and over again. You know what I mean? Or you start noticing more details, or now you're trying to get more deep into it and look at facial expressions, or
mm-hmm.
you just start you get wrapped up in it.
Yes.
And for some people that's okay. Some people can just go about their day and do that at the same time. But some people it gets really overwhelming, and like you said,
Mm-hmm.
it brings them to a place that they don't want to be. So
Right.
just be mindful of that. And if it's a trigger, things like that,
Mm-hmm.
just
Yep.
take that time out. It's okay. Like, it's
Right.
okay to
Right.
just take a step back and then come back when you're ready. Like,
Uh,
we and that's one thing that I think we have to be more aware of too. Like, when somebody is a fan of somebody, or like maybe like a diehard fan, and somebody passes away. I won't say that I was ever like a really huge fan of Kobe,
mm-hmm.
but there's people out there who will be like, "Oh, you weren't a fan. Like, why are you saying something now?"
Oh,
Blah blah blah.
yeah.
You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? And it's like, and I actually had this conversation with a girl I know, and I brought that up. And then as I was saying that, I was like, well, you know what? That could be their way of grieving too.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody has their different ways. But at the same time, it's okay. Like, we are all humans. We're all
Right.
connected at the end of the
Exactly.
day. You know what I mean? So you can be sad that another human being dying. That's human. That's the humane thing to do. Is
Mm-hmm.
just like, because it is not so much that you're gonna miss them, or that they're missing from your life, or they attributed to your life in some type of way, but you feel for that family. You know what I mean? You
Exactly.
feel, because you've been there, you've had somebody that you lost, and you know how
Exactly.
you felt. So it's just like, it's being empathetic.
Exactly.
It's and that's more of what it is. But again, like I said, people have different ways of coping and grieving, and things like that. But at the end of the day, it's just prayers out to the families of everybody that has lost anybody
Yes.
so far this year, because it's just like, it's heartbreaking. It's
Mm-hmm.
heartbreaking.
I agree totally.
All right, so streets, we do want to say, we have a segment that we've been doing throughout season one called We Are Here. And we've had a few emails come through and a few suggestions, phone calls, pop-ups in person. Just like suggestions and things that you guys want us to talk about, or some advice that you think well, thank you for thinking that we are even uh, qualified enough to give you guys any type of advice. um, but we do want you to know that we are here and we see everything, we hear everything that you're saying, and we're going to touch on a few of those tonight. And for those who are not aware that we are here, maybe this is your first time listening, or you're new to us, and season two is where you took your first stop. You can always email us at the chapter 30 podcast at gmail.com, or hit us up on our social media platforms. Should I just go ahead and say them now?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Let's plug up the chapter 30 real quick. So you
I
can
love
find
this
us
part.
on you can find us on why was I going to start with Snapchat? I never start with Snapchat. You can find us on Instagram at the Chapter 30 Podcast. We're on Snap and Twitter at Chapter 30 Pod, and we're on Facebook at K Grace. No, it's not. Why did I just say K
I was
Grace?
like, wait, huh?
You can find us on Facebook at Queen Key Cud. Oh Lord, I'm not cutting that. I'm keeping that.
Hey.
Real life. This is real
Real
time.
life.
So yeah, just hit us up if there's anything that you want to talk about, anything that you want to share, and remember that we will keep it anonymous. We don't call out any, even if you don't mind us keeping anonymous, we still do it anyway, just in case. Because this is out there to the world, and we're okay with putting our stuff out there, but some people are not, and we just want to be careful of that. So
Ooh.
I guess I will start with the
Okay.
first one.
Okay.
This is actually this is a newer one. This is somebody who just sent this not too long ago after we dropped episode one. Oh, episode one is out of season two, called Come Through.
Come Through Streets.
So go ahead and check that out, guys. But let's just jump into it.
I'm ready.
Okay, so it says, "Hey ladies, welcome back. Thank you."
Thank you.
I'm just gonna jump right into this one. I feel like this isn't a topic that's discussed too often, and unless you have someone in your life who is well versed in this area, it's kind of a trial and error slash learn from your mistakes type of thing. It's definitely not taught in schools, and it's something that I have been trying to improve on, especially now that I am a member of Chapter 30. Oh, that was in quotation marks. Okay. What I am talking about is financial literacy. Can you ladies please give us some tips on how to become more financially literate and maybe touch on credit, investing, etc.? Thank you so much, and I wish you both nothing but the best all 2020. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
I'm
It's a
gonna
good
have Miss
one.
K go ahead. Yeah, it's a really, really good one. I'm gonna have Miss K go ahead and start off with answering this one because actually, before we even started this episode, I was just having this conversation with Miss K. Like, she is, in my perspective, just like the most financially literate person that I have in life. Like, she's just so, what is the word I'm looking for? She does this adulting thing. Like, she does it.
Hey.
You do like just some of the stuff. I'm not gonna go into details and stuff like that, but just like some of the conversations that we have and some of the goals that you have for yourself, um, that you have already accomplished and things that you want to do and the steps that you take to get there, and like the self-determination and the self-discipline that you have is just like unmatched. It's like
Wow.
I'm looking at a freaking Mamba mentality. Like that's it. Like,
Nice.
you know what I mean?
See? I already said
Period.
earlier, do not make me cry. And I'm about to cry again. Like, oh my goodness.
Period. Period.
That's a huge compliment. I want to thank you so much for seeing me in that light.
You're
Like
welcome.
I appreciate that compliment. like I said to you earlier, like it's crazy because it really, like when you have good friends, like they really can see things in you that you don't pay attention to often, or you don't give yourself credit to, or you don't see. And in our friendship, we're constantly doing that. And I just want to say, like, that's so important. We always say, get you a T, or, you know, get
Yeah,
you a Miss K, but like, no, really, like, make sure your friends and the people around you that love you, like, they're they're uplifting you, because man, it's priceless. I really appreciate
absolutely.
that.
Of course.
Um, so I appreciate that so much. Okay, and to start off, I was thinking that maybe we could give her like two tips that have helped us, things that we have learned. Um,
Okay.
so at first, I want to say I definitely agree. Like there should definitely be more opportunities in school or in life period, to teach us about credit and life, because we spend our
Mm,
whole life making all these mistakes just to come back and, you know, try to get it together for whatever steps that we
mm,
need to take in life, and that's frustrating. So I feel you on that, girl.
mm-hmm.
I feel like my life has been that too. Like sometimes you just start doing stuff, maybe you don't have people in your family to guide you, or maybe you don't learn it in school, or you know, whatever the case may be. It's tough
Yep.
because this stuff is real life. So I feel you on that, girl.
Mm-hmm.
Um, one thing that I would say that has been super helpful for me is getting a budget and sticking to it. Um,
Mm,
I have to say that has been like a huge part of the battle with just money and just all that kind of stuff for me. So like when you make your budget, like be honest about your budget. Like sometimes you can
yeah.
like make a budget that's just not honest. Like you're not going to include that, you know, you want to go get you some Starbucks twice a week, or you know, you want to get your nails done, or you want to go to that concert. Now, when making that budget, you have to be honest about the things that you want to do, but you also have to be wise about the things that you want to do. So if you are trying to save money, maybe instead of getting Starbucks 4 times, maybe you'll get it 2 times. You know, maybe you can't go to that concert, but maybe you can go to the one that comes, you know, in 6 months from now. Like it's just about being mindful of your the money that you're taking in and making it work best for you. Because we all work hard and we want to make the best out of the money that we're getting. So I would just say make a budget, stick to it, be honest with it.
Mm.
One thing, T, that you have done, your grocery budget. I was like, girl, like
Oh
put
yeah.
me on, because that's important too, because I can admit sometimes I'll go in the grocery store and it's just swipe, swipe, swipe. But even sitting there and
Mm-hmm.
like being mindful of like what you actually need, what you have, how long it's gonna last,
Right.
like just being mindful of all that kind of stuff is super
Mm-hmm.
helpful, instead of like just getting your check and just swiping away, and then before you know, like, so
Yep.
write everything you owe down. Like I don't know, get a notebook, get an app, get something that's gonna hold you accountable, and something that you can track your spending and kind of keep a good eye on it. So long story short, budget.
That's a really, really good one. And I must say that, these are tips that we could have easily went online and was just like, oh, let's give them
Right.
some tips. You know what I mean? And I can say, just being friends with Miss K, that this is something that she really, really does and she really sticks to.
Thanks.
And no problem. It's like it's real life advice. You know what I mean?
Mm,
Like, and she's good at it.
thank you.
So for me, I say on my end, like, this is something that I literally do, like, over and over again. Like, I start over. I'm like, okay, let me do a budget.
Mm-hmm.
And then I don't stick to it, and then I start it over again. But what I'm trying to get at is it's not something, if it doesn't come second nature to
Mm-hmm.
you, it is something that will have to take practice, and that's okay. That's with everything.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Right.
like, sometimes, let's say you want to go to the gym.
Exactly.
You could start off real, real, real strong, go every day for 3 weeks
Mm-hmm.
or every 5 days. You know what I mean? And then you slack, and then
Yep.
you just don't go anymore. But then once you jump back on, it's easier. You know what I mean? You
Right.
remember what you did before, whatever. So it's the same thing. Like, just have patience with yourself and know it's to better yourself and
Mm-hmm.
your future and your kids' future and so on. And just be mindful is just like,
Huh.
it's just the foundation of everything. Like,
Mm-hmm.
just remember what you're doing it for, and why you're doing it.
That.
So I think that was a really, really good one. And my point is, This is actually something that I sat down and did today. And I
Mm-hmm.
got this idea from my boyfriend actually because this is what he does. So he
Mm-hmm.
writes down his bills every single month. Like he writes
Mm-hmm.
it down. He doesn't use any type of electronics or anything. He just likes to see it and check it off.
Uh-huh. Yep. Me
And
too.
don't sleep on the old school paper and pen. Like don't
Girl,
sleep
something
on it.
about it. When
It's
you pull that
something about
notebook
that
out,
paper and pen.
it's like you mean
Miss
business.
K, I forgot to tell you this. So I have a planner that I bought for 2020, right?
Uh-huh.
First of all, it's beautiful. Like it's so colorful. It has like
Mm-hmm.
um nice quotes on it for every month. Like February says, respond to every call that excites your spirit.
Love it.
March says, when life gets blurry, adjust your focus. Like it's just
Love it.
so
Mm-hmm.
just positive.
Yep.
It makes me want to write in it.
Love it.
But what I meant to tell you was, so I wrote down some goals for January,
Nice.
and I did this beginning of January, and I hadn't picked up this planner until February. So I
Mm-hmm.
go back and I like look at what I wrote down for January. When I tell you I checked off everything, I was like, oh, I did that. Oh, I did that. Oh, I did. I surprised myself.
I told you in the last episode we were talking about this. I told you you be smashing them goals. Like you really
Like
do.
it. I mean, I believe I heard you when you said
Uh-huh.
it. But when I went back and I was like, wow, because I literally be thinking I don't do anything. Like I'll be like, yo, I
Sure.
could do more. You know
Right.
what I mean? Like I could do more. I could always do more. But
Same.
that's just, the perfectionist type, go
Mm-hmm.
getter. And there's nothing wrong with that. We can always
Right.
do more. But you also have to remember what you've done.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so that's
Where you
another
came
reason why I
from.
say exactly. That's another reason why I say write it down because
Mm-hmm.
you can go back and check it off and really see what you've done, and that just makes
Right.
you want to do more.
Mm-hmm.
So when I wrote down February, I was like, okay, let me add this.
Uh-huh.
And actually, my February
I know.
goals, I'm not even going to talk on that, but it's like, whoa, I'm checking off stuff today.
She literally just smashed one of her biggest goals that she been putting in work for this. So shout out to Queen T today because she just like yeah,
Thank you.
I'm super proud of you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Cause girl,
Girl,
you
girl,
know.
you know I know
Ooh,
this
it's
one.
something. It's something that I've been working on for a very long time, and something that like I was focused, like focus.
You
I've
was
been talking about this
focused.
for how long? Like I need this. I need this. I need this.
Uh-huh. Look at you.
And today it happened. So
Yeah,
thank God.
you've been
Thank
putting in
God.
work. I mean,
Absolutely. And that's another reason why I write down your goals because you write them down, you manifest them.
yep.
Like that's another thing. I didn't think it was gonna happen so quickly, but shoot, I'm not complaining.
Right.
Um, but sorry, I took a little left. Of
No,
course, we
that's
went to C. Let me go back to
okay.
A. So here's what I do: I write down all of my bills, and well, I did this today, and I
Mhm.
write down the date that they're due.
Yep.
So I can just visually see, okay, this is when I have to pay that, pay that, pay that, pay
Mm-hmm.
that. But then what I did today was I kind of took out some trash. So I went through my accounts because I know I have like a lot of like these little subscriptions and stuff like that, like
Mm.
like little 7.99 here, 8.99 there, blah blah
Uh-huh.
blah. And
Yep.
then I came across a few subscriptions that I didn't even know what they were for.
Yep.
Like I saw one for 8.99, one for 9.99, and I was getting charged monthly. So I'm like, let me go into
Wow.
this and see what it is. One of them was for the Stars channel. I'm like, I don't even watch Stars. I barely even watch
Wow.
TV.
Uh-huh.
So it's like, we think of these things that's so minor when we're
Uh-huh.
signing up for them. We're like, oh, it's just 8.99,
Yep.
whatever. But just think about how many you do that too. You know what I mean? Like, and then it's something that you're not even using. So that's
That's a
eight
good
ninety nine that
one.
I could be saving a month. You know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
boom, cancel that.
Yep.
Then I had another one, Kindle Unlimited. Barely use that. 9.99.
Girl, I see a
Cancel that.
commercial.
Girl, Pandora, fine, 4.99. I'll listen to those commercials. It's okay. Cancel that.
Girl. Mm-hmm.
Like, I was really sad about this. I canceled my Amazon Prime, but
Mm-hmm.
I have stuff I need to focus on. So Amazon
Yeah.
Prime is
Mm-hmm.
not my It's not at the top of my food chain right now. You know what I mean?
Right,
Like I have other
right.
stuff I need to focus on, and it's not spending money. So
Mm-hmm.
I deleted the Amazon app and
Mm-hmm.
I canceled my membership.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I also made a few other adjustments. Like, so
Wow.
after like writing everything down, and so I was like, okay, this is what I paid last month and all my
Mm-hmm.
bills. And after canceling all these little things, like, let me see how much I'm saving. So next month, once I do for March, once I do all
Mm-hmm.
my bills, I'll be saving
Huh.
$65.16.
Yeah. No.
$65.16.
That's a major key. Taking out the trash. That's a
Take
major
out
key.
the trash.
It's
Take
so
out the
important
trash.
to do that. Mm-hmm.
And I think
Mm-hmm.
this is something that I do, which I need to be better at, which I'm starting today.
Mm-hmm.
Um like I just see how much I have in my account and I'm like, okay, I can get this or I
Mm-hmm.
can't get that. Instead of going through the details, looking to see what's coming out. Because sometimes people charge you and it's a mistake, or you know what I mean?
Yes.
Sometimes I could have noticed that subscription even I could have noticed that subscription months ago. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? But I wasn't paying attention.
Right.
Um, so I guess I just said two tips, but it's
No,
comes along
yeah.
with taking out the trash.
Those
Like,
are awesome tips.
yeah, like just be mindful too, like of what you're spending and not just how much you have in total, but
Mm-hmm.
really, really look at those lines and see, okay, I know about that payment, I know about that payment, I know about this, I know when I did that. Okay, cool. Wait, hold on. This one, that 35.99, where is that coming from? You know what
Mm-hmm.
I mean? And then just take out all the stuff that is not useful to you, anything that you don't need, and go ahead and trash that, and you'll be saving money. I don't care if it's 99 cents. Apple charged me 99 cents every month, and I'm like,
Girl.
I don't know if I want that,
Uh-huh. That
but
stuff
it
adds
adds
up.
up. It
That could have
adds
been going
up.
into a saving account for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that stuff adds
Listen,
up.
exactly. So that's my tip. Go ahead and
Those
take out
two
the
tips were
trash.
great. So yours was writing your bills down and just getting
Hmm.
a good picture of it all and taking out the
Yep.
trash.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Mine
And
was.
that, along
Mm-hmm.
with budgeting, is
Mm-hmm.
that's it.
Like that's a really good picture of like where you stand and where you want to go. Like that gives you that good picture, should I say?
Absolutely.
Um,
Absolutely.
since I said we'll both give two, I'll give another one. You touched on. She said that maybe they should have touched on credit, or she wished she would knew more about credit. I think
Yeah,
so.
she said she wanted to touch her own credit. Hmm.
Okay, I would say there's a lot of different ways to get like a free copy of your credit report. I would say get that credit report and become familiar with it because I feel like that kind of goes hand in hand with taking out the trash. There may be things on there that are wrong
Mm.
or things that you're not aware of. Like I just say become familiar with that. That's something I need to do. Like I go on Credit Karma and I go on a few different apps, but I like need to actually get my credit report again and kind of just I think it's important to just, check in on that because there's a lot of fraud going on. There's just a lot going on and a lot of us don't even understand our credit reports. Like, wait, what? Like,
Hmm.
and credit is life. Like it has so much control over the things that we need to do. So I say like
Yes.
since it has so much to do with our life, it's important to, at least try to make some understanding of it or, if there's someone in your family or go on YouTube or, something just to kind of get an idea of what you're looking at.
Speaking of YouTube, Corinne's brother, Miss K's brother, has an awesome, amazing YouTube channel. And I'm not saying this because she's my best friend.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't even know that I checked out the YouTube
I
channel.
didn't.
Like,
That was
like I just randomly went on and checked it out. And he has some really, really, really
yeah.
good tips. And it's for free. Like people
Mm-hmm.
charge for tips like this,
Mm-hmm.
which is it's kind of sad.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because it's just something that we all just should know. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right.
But he talks about investing. He talks about credit and tripling your earnings and um
Mm-hmm.
investing apps and things like that. And his name on YouTube is Keenan Grace, Kenan Grace. Um, check out that YouTube channel because really, really, and it's like it's not boring. You know what I mean?
right.
You can
Right. Right.
when you start talking about finances and money and
Mm-hmm.
credit, it's really easy to just like get stale. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but he does it in a way that he it's really a talent the way that he does it. He can
Oh,
grasp your
thank
attention
you.
and keep you focused and learning at the same time. So it's kind of like credit for dummies. That's why I like. That's why I was like, oh, okay, this makes sense. Like, you know what I mean? Um,
Aw,
so
thanks.
yeah, that was a really, really, really informational yet engaging YouTube channel
Right.
for me. For me. So if you have any questions on credit or anything like that, and you want to check out something that's kind of
Hmm.
like, easy to understand, but still information at the same time, like
Right.
that's a really, really good one to go to.
I agree. Thanks for recommending that. I definitely agree. Check him out, guys. And that's what I like about it. It's entertaining, but like you're learning a lot, educational at the same time. A lot of people
Right.
have taken a lot from it. So go check that out, guys. It's a great, great start. Shout
Absolutely.
out to
And
him. Yeah.
speaking of Credit Karma, that's a really, really I won't say that I am a genius at credit or anything like that, but it's something that I've really, really been focused on for the
Mm-hmm.
past, I would say I've been really serious about it for the past year or so.
Mm-hmm.
Um and I've just been steadily seeing increase after every month my credit score increases.
Hey.
Um thank you. But that's because I'm just really serious about it. You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
I check my Credit Karma at least, I say at least once a week. And I go on there and I'm just making sure that everything is legit. If I could dispute something, I'm trying to dispute it.
Yeah.
Like, catch them bills before they hit your credit. You just have to really
Yep.
realize how serious credit is. And that's the
So,
thing. Like they don't tell us that when we're growing up.
nope.
They don't tell us like, like you said, credit is life.
It's
And
life.
it really, really is.
Mm-hmm.
It's the deciding factor for a lot of things. Like if you want to get a
Mm-hmm.
car, if you want to get a house, if
Mm-hmm.
you want to rent an apartment, like
Yep.
they're checking if you want to go to school, like they
Yep.
checking everything, you know what I mean? Um, and credit is really, really important. And it's okay. Like I feel like a lot of people, oh, I have a low credit score, is what it
Right.
is. Like, no, you can work on it. Like
Definitely.
it can get better.
Right.
You just have to know how to go about it. And
Right.
I'm like this YouTube channel is a perfect example of how to go about it. And I'm not going to go
Mm-hmm.
into the little details, but
Right.
utilization and stuff like that. But look into it because it's important.
Right.
It's
It can
important.
definitely get overwhelming. Like when you
Yes.
like if you owe a lot or student loans, a lot of credit card. Like trust me, we're there. We are here, literally.
Yeah.
But like you said, like you just take it step by step and do what you can. All you can do is what you can. Do what you
Yeah.
can. You got this. Like even if you can just do one thing a month or two things a month to make things better for you in that area, like you can do it. There are changes that we all can make. Like you got this. Like don't think that it's too late or like you said your score is too low. And trust me, that score dropped low real quick, but it be going up real
Mm-hmm.
slow, so it is
Mm-hmm.
frustrating. Like I think mine's dropped like 15 points and then now it's going up 1.1 point, so it's frustrating,
Yep.
but you know it is what it is. Like all we can do is what we can do, and we got this.
Mm-hmm. They quick to take, slow to give.
Girl.
But I think like the overwhelming part of it is that it is so slow. The process is
Right.
so slow. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's only going to change month to month. You know what I mean? Like,
Mm-hmm.
and that whole month is kind of like, dang, like what's going
Mm-hmm.
on? Um, so don't be like me and check every week. But unless you if there's a purpose behind it, you know what I mean? Like if there's a specific purpose that you're looking for. Um, but just remember like the end goal. It's a
Mm-hmm.
very slow process. Like
Yeah.
it's not going to happen overnight, and especially in this instant gratification world that we live in,
Mm-hmm.
like we want things to just happen tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
And the the stuff of value never happens that quickly. Whatever is valuable is never going to happen overnight. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
um so best of anything else you want to say to her?
No, thank you so much for sending that in. That was an awesome question.
Very. It was different. I liked it. And
Yeah.
hopefully you took something from what we said, and we wish you nothing but the best of luck. And let us know.
Yeah,
Keep us
keep us posted.
updated.
That was awesome. All right,
Yes.
so I'll go right into the second one. Okay.
Okay.
This one's actually from last month. All
Okay.
right. It says, "Hey, Queen T and Miss K, I love the podcast. It makes work go by so fast. Y'all are my sisters in my head, but I've been hesitating to write this to you guys for a little bit now. But here it goes. My man is broke. He lost his job weeks before
And
we
I,
started.
ooh,
And
sorry.
okay, he lost his job weeks before we started to date, and I have to
Mm.
pay for all the dates. I haven't said
Mm.
anything about it to him yet, but my question is, how do I tell him I want to be? Wait, sorry. How do I tell him how I want to be treated? I feel like I die a little more each time we go out.
Damn.
Should I rock the boat and bring this up, even though he makes me happy besides this? And that was it.
Mm-hmm. Am I starting this one off?
Yeah, girl. Yeah, girl.
I have, I mean, okay, Ren, I have no other choice.
I mean, she
Little
asked us.
disclaimer. She did ask us, and
She know us
I
right
love
now.
you. Okay, good, because I have no other choice but to be honest.
I think she wants that.
Great, because that's what I'm gonna give you.
Disclaimer: no shade. Okay, go.
No, no, no,
No
no shade at all.
shade.
Trust me, please, because girl, I'd have been there.
Me too.
So, no shade at all.
No shade.
I just have a few there's a few things on here I need to touch on. Um, I'm gonna start off with should I rock the boat?
That part, girl. That's like out to me.
I'm gonna just point that one out because why is it rocking the boat? Why is you have something that you want to bring to your man's attention and something that's on your mind, something that's bothering you, and that shouldn't be equivalent to rocking the boat.
Mm.
You know what I mean? That's communication. And we always say communication is key and
Mm-hmm.
how, we keep relationships together and things like that. So it's like, what is the other hand of that? Like, just don't say anything and just continue to have that on your mind. And
Mm-hmm.
there's different things that could happen. The fact that you're automatically assuming that it's gonna rock the boat is what's bothering me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like he could. I don't know the man.
Right.
So is there a reason why you're saying that? Is there a reason why you're saying it's gonna rock the boat? Um, but on the other hand, like if you bring it up, he could be like, oh, okay, cool. Like maybe I'll work on it. Like I'll do more, whatever. I want you to be happy.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, I just need a little bit more. I don't want to assume anything. So I just need a little bit more clarification on that rock the boat because it's like, no, you need to be able to discuss and communicate how you're feeling, no matter what it's about inside of your relationship. Two, this okay, you said my man is broke,
Ooh,
but you said he lost his job before y'all even started dating.
ooh,
So you went into this knowing what it was, my love. Like
ooh.
how long have y'all been dating? And don't say it on here. Um, I'm assuming that it's been a little while now.
Mm-hmm.
She said he makes me happy and stuff like that. But like I am just a firm believer in you can't expectations. Here we go. Hashtag
Mm-hmm.
expectations. Like, was this a discussion that y'all had in the beginning? Like, did y'all talk about, okay, I know you lost your job a little while ago, but what are your plans going forward? Blah blah blah. Or did you just assume that he's gonna be better? He's gonna start taking me on my dates. He's gonna get a job. Blah blah blah.
Right.
Um, so this is the person that you met. You know what I mean? This is the person who you choose to be in a relationship. You
Mm-hmm.
chose to be in a relationship with somebody who's broke. And now that you're realizing that you can't really do what you want to do without you paying for it, now you're feeling some type of way. So again, communication. This is the conversation that you need to have with him. Um, I'm feeling this way and I'm feeling this way because this. And it can't come with expectations. It can't be because, oh, I figured you would have this by now.
Right.
No, you can't do that because y'all didn't have that conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't know if y'all did, but it seemed like y'all didn't. because then you will have your answer, you know. Um, let me just look at this one time. And oh, you're paying for all the dates. Yeah, I mean, home dude is spoiled. Why would he get a job right now? Like, like why? What would be his like? You already set it up to this to be how it is. You know what I mean? You already. It's kind of like this is what it is. So now he's good. Like, yeah, it's gonna rock the boat. Yeah, it's gonna rock the boat. Yeah, she. Oh, yeah, she said she hasn't said anything to him about him. Okay, so I didn't answer the question. The question is, how do I tell him I want to be treated? How I want to be treated sometimes. I don't know about how. That's a good question because I would just say it. Like
Right, right.
I would just literally everything that you just told us is like what I would say to him. Like, I don't want to pay for every day. I want to go out. I want you to take me out. I want to feel special. I want you make me happy. Start off with a positive. There we go.
Mhm.
Start off with the positive. Come on, Tisha, calm down. Okay.
Nah, this is good. This is real. This is why she wrote it. I mean,
Yeah, because I'm getting mad. Like,
hmm
um, start off with the positive. You make me really happy. I love, the time that we spend together. I love the way that you treat me. Whatever it is that you love about him, or love about y'all relationship.
hmm
That's how you start off. Start off on a positive note. Butter him up a little bit. Maybe after sex, something. Make sure he's satisfied or whatever, and then or maybe after you fed him, something like
hmm
that. Giving out my tips. Okay, so and then like go into the nitty gritty and just be like, this is a problem for you, and just be able to accept what comes after that
Right.
because it may not be what you want to hear.
hmm
And then you have to figure out how to go for it from there. Now, if he's saying, if you say what you have to say, and he's like, "Well, this is how you met me," you know what I
hmm
mean? That's a fact. That's how you met him. So
hmm
what are you going to do now? You know what I mean? Or if he turns around and says, "You know what? I never really thought about it like that. I thought we were good because that's how the way things were, and you didn't say anything. But I'm gonna work on it. I'm gonna be better." Boom. There you go. Whatever comes about the situation is basically in your court. Like you're
hmm
gonna have to figure out. You have to bring up this conversation, and then after that, you have to deal with whatever the consequences are after you have this conversation.
That's true. And I think something you can take from this, like however it goes, is that communication, like, should not be seen as rocking the boat. I think anytime there's an
Right.
issue going on, the boat's already rocking because of the issue. Like, y'all
Mm.
not smooth selling just because you're not saying anything. Like, you're holding this
Mm.
inside. It's probably killing you on the inside. That's big.
Mm-hmm.
And so don't think, oh, I'm gonna be quiet because it's going so good and I got a man and I
No.
want, like, no, girl, you have to speak your piece. Like, so I think going forward, you should know, like, that you have to, like, with all the relationships in your life, like, you have to be open about how you feel or how something is making you feel because people
Yes.
cannot read minds. And
Yes.
like T said, he may be thinking everything's all, good. And he's, like, you can't assume
Yes.
what I don't know if we talked about this on here, but just, we can't assume what the other person is thinking at all. Like,
Hmm.
we just can't.
Communication is what's supposed to steady the boat.
Yes, yes. So I agree. Y'all heard me in the background. I agree. I'm interested in how long they've been together too. I mean, that can be frustrating when someone, is unemployed for a while, and it's frustrating on their part too. And then, to be their partner, it's a lot that goes with that. But like you
Hmm.
said, she met him that way, and
Right.
I don't know if he's trying to find a job and he can, or he ain't trying to, like,
Hmm.
we don't know everything, but I would say T nailed it. So
Yeah.
definitely keep
I
us
definitely
posted.
want to know how long because if they've been together for like a year, then
Right.
girl, like
Right. If it's like 2 months, like, is this like a season in his life where he's down? But like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. But there are some men who are comfortable with letting their women take care of them.
Yeah. And if the woman's okay with that, that's okay.
Yeah, I
You
mean,
know what I mean? Every relationship is different and there's no
exactly.
guideline or there's no
Right.
perfect relationship or it's supposed to be like this, even though
Exactly.
there's so much out there that's like, oh, it's supposed to be like that and you're supposed to do like no, everybody's
That
different
part.
and
That
everybody's
part.
gonna have different relationships. So, you know what I
Hmm.
mean? But clearly this the way things are going is not working for you. So you have to talk about it. You have to.
Right. And
And
his
it
last
may make y'all
relationship,
stronger.
that part definitely will make them stronger. His last relationship, he could have had somebody that loved taking care of him. There's a lot of people that love taking care of a man. You know, like
Yeah.
there's some relationships that are built on that. And what you said is true. Like it's 2020. Like there are no like, okay, the guy has to spoil me. I have to just do
Yeah.
this and like there. That's no. It's 2020. Like you have to set the tone of your relationship. Y'all both have to like say how y'all want to be treated, and if y'all both good with it, then go for it. But like you can't
Hmm.
go in there expecting that he's gonna treat you a way that he probably don't even know you want to be treated that way. So I
Hmm.
mean, yeah,
Yeah. And the one common denominator between every relationship should be communication though. Like
yes,
that's the one thing.
mm-hmm.
Like if you don't have that, then it's like then you start holding resentment. Like now you're gonna
Yes.
start resenting him for something that he may not even know. And that's on you. You know
She
what I
probably be
mean?
so
Like,
mad. I
yeah, yeah, she probably look at him and be like, this he don't be doing shit. Like and
Every
it's
time he
like
swiped that card. Mm-hmm.
exactly. Like, it can lead to I use it all the time, creating catastrophes. Like, and
That part.
it could be all be so simple. Like, just have the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Don't build it up to be something so major in your mind without even getting there. You know what I mean? Like, just get
Right.
there first. Take that first step, have the conversation, and just go with the flow. That's it.
Exactly.
But
And
just
sometimes
remember,
things
he was broke when you met him.
that part. Because I was gonna say sometimes things change in the relationship. So every conversation you don't have in the beginning because sometimes things happen like in the middle or like just while it's happening. So sometimes people can lose their job and like while the relationship is happening or just start
Right.
habits or just different things like after y'all already had that talk. So even then like you could be with somebody for a year and then something can come up that you're not comfortable with. You still have to be comfortable to bring that up to them and have that communication because
Hmm.
people are forever going to be evolving and changing. And the only way you can like evolve and change with them is if you are talking and letting them know like what works for you, what doesn't. And
Yes.
yeah,
Growth is on the other side of comfort.
that
Like,
part.
you have to just get through that. Like
Mm-hmm.
you can't just not do things because it makes you feel uncomfortable.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like we're gonna feel uncomfortable at some point in our lives with anything that we do. Like, but that's where growth comes in. Like, oh, now it makes it easier to do it the next time. Like, let's say you have
Right.
another issue with him,
Mm-hmm.
um, and you want to bring it up, then it's gonna make it that much more easy to bring that up to him the next time. But it just seemed like this seems like a fairly new relationship to me. I don't think it's been like a year in or anything like that. It seems fairly new.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I think right now is the time to just have that conversation, get it out there, and just discuss what's on your mind. And if he can't do the things that, and I don't want to say a relationship is all about like, he's doing this for me, blah blah blah, because clearly you don't mind doing things for him.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but like it seems like you want some reciprocation. You know what I mean? And there's
Right.
nothing wrong with that. So it's like you have standards, and if he can't meet those standards, then it's okay to say goodbye. It's all right.
So,
I don't want to end our relationship, but I want you to know. I just hear he broke, and I'm like, ugh.
he said he broke.
But
Oh.
and ooh. But it's okay. Like it's okay to be okay by yourself.
So,
Like, and I'm not trying to go that far to say that you're not. I'm just saying, like, and you do say that he makes you happy. So that's a
mm-hmm.
big thing. That's a really, really
Mm-hmm.
big thing. Um, because everything is not about money. Everything is not like if he, feed you emotionally and um, he just understands who you are as a person and if he's considerate well, okay. If he's all these other good things, then it's worth having this conversation and worth trying to hold on to.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to say, like, I'm the queen of like not liking to have certain conversations because they're uncomfortable. But
Mm-hmm.
that's so important to do that because expectations, communication, and like just
Mm-hmm.
assuming, like you just can't assume that somebody knows how to treat you or somebody knows how that made you feel. We have these talks all the time, T, about like
Yeah.
just how that can be uncomfortable sometimes, but it gets easier each time, kind of.
Absolutely. And it's because, like, I'll speak for myself. In my mind, I'm thinking, oh my God, this is about to be the end of a friendship or the end of a
Right.
relationship. Like, I'm going all the way, like, left. And
Mm-hmm.
it should not be that way. It should be like, okay, I have an issue. I want to talk about it. Let's get to some type of understanding so we could fix it and then just go forward. Like,
Right.
and I don't know if it's because in maybe some point in my life that has happened and that's why I think that way. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I can't think of anything right now, but maybe I said something about the way I felt, and then somebody just left. And
Mm-hmm.
it's like, oh, like now I don't want to ever do that again because I don't want anybody to just leave. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
especially somebody that I really care about. But something we have to realize is if that does happen, they weren't
Mm-hmm.
meant to be there to begin with.
Seriously.
Like, we can't be holding on to things that are not meant for us.
Mm-hmm.
Teddy bear
Because
meaning.
can't wait for that
We
episode.
need to record that episode ASAP.
Yes. Some people don't like to be told like about things that they're doing that may hurt another person. Like they may be automatically defensive or just like
Mm.
not wanting to hear it, and that has nothing to do with you.
Mm.
So yeah.
Woo! I'm one of those people. I don't want to know that I hurt your feelings. Like, I don't, not saying I don't want to know that, but
Mhm.
it does something to me. Like, I'm not
It
going to say
hurts.
I don't feel nothing. You know what I mean? I'm not going
Yeah.
to sit here and be like, oh, okay, when I hear, like, Tanisha, you hurt my feelings. And I'm going to be like, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do, like,
Right.
of
You
course I'm going to
care.
apologize, but I
Mhm.
do feel something. I feel like, maybe it's not more defense, but it's more like, dang, I'm maybe like disappointed in myself.
Right. That's
You know
different.
what I mean?
Mhm.
Like that was, especially if it wasn't my intention to do that.
Exactly. Intentions. Yeah.
But you have to say these
It
things
hurts.
because yeah, and then so
Mhm.
now I know not to do that anymore. Now I know not to go that route. If I really care about you and I really want you in my life and you tell
Right.
me this is something that bothers you, then I'm not going to do that shit.
That
Period.
can help you grow, like as far as like character development, like that can help you grow. It can be like a teachable moment. But one thing I
Yes.
don't like is when somebody tells me like after a while.
Mm,
But I
mm-hmm.
like on one hand I can see like why they hold on to it because I'm not so comfortable with just saying it. But like when they're like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
like when you said this like 5 months ago, I'm like, oh my gosh,
Mm-hmm.
you've been like, and I'm not mad at them. I'm like, oh my gosh, this has been between us this long. Like I had no idea.
Right.
Like I just feel like,
Right.
oh my gosh, like
Mm-hmm.
it makes me feel like it just makes me feel sad. Like, oh, like I wish
Mm.
I would have known. But again,
Right.
you can't really create a timetable for when they're comfortable to say that. So I
Right.
mean, yeah.
And that's actually a good point for this. We are here
Mm-hmm.
because depending on how long they've been together, he could probably be like, well, how long has she been thinking this? Like,
I know.
like how we've been together for 5 months and she's just now saying this,
Right.
like, okay.
I know.
Um, so that's really important. Like, timing is everything. But then again, everybody has their own processes and the way that they
Right.
handle situations. But it's
Uh-huh.
something to keep in mind. It's something to be mindful of. Like,
So true, too.
everybody's not the same. Everybody's not just gonna be like, oh, I have a
Exactly.
problem. I want to address it right now, and then that's
Exactly.
it. Everybody's not like
Exactly.
that.
Exactly.
But it all comes down to the quality of the relationship, whether it's platonic or not. Like, can you get past this person saying waiting this long? Can he get past you waiting 5 months to tell him that you want him to take you out? You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
that's, like you said, character development. That's where you start realizing, okay, is this good for me or not?
And two, it's like some people are like you said, their process, like they kind of have to think about how they feel. Like I get that takes time, but like
Yeah.
So if you feel like the person is like, they may have held on to it for that. But sometimes, like, if, like, let's say it's like 5 years from now, and all of a sudden, like, you bring up, like, look, you broke. Like, like, you just go there. It's like,
Right,
damn. Like,
right, right.
that can, like you said, it does depend on how long. It may take him, like, totally, like, whoa, like, he may have had,
Yeah, off guard.
yeah, off
Mm-hmm.
guard. There you go.
Yeah.
Oof. That's a
And
good
then, like
one.
you said, that sad part, like,
Yes.
cause it's good. It's like I made you feel this way for 5 years, and you
That
didn't tell me.
part.
Like I could have
Yeah.
stopped making you feel that way.
Mm-hmm.
Like that. I feel like that's part of the sad part. Like
Yeah, like, I
I don't
had
want you
no
to feel that
idea.
way,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm just continuing to hurt you and hurt you and hurt
Yes.
you, and you just taking it and taking it and taking it, and not
Yes.
telling me that I'm hurting you.
Yes.
Like,
That's it exactly for me.
dang,
Like, damn,
that's crazy.
it's intentions, like you said, especially if it's not that person's intentions. It's like, damn.
Right. Like I'm just sitting here stabbing you over and over and over and over again, and you
Yes.
just like, ow, 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 ow. But you saying it in your mind.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yep.
some of this is accountability, like self accountability. Like we just have to be accountable of just the way that we react to things and the way that we have to get out of our minds sometimes.
So,
Everybody does not live in our mind.
right, right.
And even like people that we know really well, like we still have to
Mm-hmm.
do those same things. Like we still have to express ourselves and, say this is how I feel and blah, 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 and get it out there. And they're not going anywhere if they really are meant to be in your life. It's cool. It's all right. It's not the end of the world.
Right. And check-ins are important too. Like, there's this one
Yes.
meme. It's like, how's your heart? Like, how are you
Yep.
breathing? Like, like,
Yep.
it's important to check in with everybody you care about. I can overdo it sometimes. Like, wait, did I hurt your feelings when I said? But like, there is a healthy way of like just checking in with somebody. Like, we good? Like,
Yeah.
even with the podcast, we have to check in with each other and make sure things are fair, make sure we're good, like make sure, like, or even in a regular friendship or marriage or a mother and daughter, whatever it is, like you have to check in with that other person and just make sure you guys are seeing eye to eye, things are good, y'all on the right page. I like to check in with people every now and then, and because that can bring up a opportunity to talk about some feelings and things like that. So
Check-ins are important. Yes, I agree. Because it opens up the door because, sometimes if somebody is holding on to something and, you open up that door, it's like, oh, okay. Now you found out something that you didn't even know.
right.
But you can't hold that against them, though. You can't just be like, oh, now if I never asked you, you wouldn't have said anything. So it's like, damn, what's the point of asking me to begin with? Like, now I could have held on to it because you hold the shit over my head.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, check-ins are really, really important. That's a good one.
So thanks for sharing.
Absolutely. I hope this girl guys get a job.
I just
Sorry,
want to know more. Like, does he initiate these dates? Like, oh, babe, let's go to the movie. Like, like,
hell no.
Like, I just want to know more. Like,
You better not be initially talk about let's go to the movies and then he looking at her to pull her wallet out. No. Streets, we don't do that. Mm-mm.
Oh gosh.
Keep us updated, girl. Best of luck to you.
Yes, please update us, please. Let's do one more tonight.
And I'm just joking with you, girl. I'm not being shady. I'll read it.
Okay.
Okay, so this is from this is our last We Are Here from the streets. And it says, I'm in a new season of putting my own happiness before all and protecting my peace. Yeah. I want that on a shirt. Protect my peace. I want to hear what you ladies have to say on this topic. Short and sweet. Go ahead. It's on you, Ren.
Okay. I love that you're in that new season. I hope you enjoy it. That's a beautiful place to be in. Something that I always tell myself and those around me, you can't pour from an empty cup. So you have to make sure you're good, whether, like, no matter what, like your relationship with yourself and the health of that relationship with yourself and just you, like, that's so important.
Yeah.
And you got to be good. Like, so I love that new season, girl. Go ahead, girl.
I agree. That just gave me just like when I read that, it just made me feel good. Because because just knowing that that's a focus on somebody's mind is amazing. And it's sad, really, that it's not for a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's a lot of people out there that just have so much to worry about. They have so much on their plate that their own well-being is not priority.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, it's just, we got bills, we got social media. It's such a big thing now.
Mm-hmm.
We have kids, we have husbands, we have church, we have religion, we have all this stuff that we kind of forget about ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so kudos to you for even having the thought to put yourself first
Mm-hmm.
and to come into this new season. So best of luck to you in this new season, and I wish nothing but the best for you. And like Ren said, is so important because it affects everything else around you.
Everything.
Um, your mind state is what manifests everything. Like, once you have peace, you can start focusing more on the things that you have to do. It's easier to, like me, for example, we always talk about how we have so much that we want to do. We have all these goals and stuff like that. Like, if I didn't have peace of mind or if I didn't have some type
Mm-hmm.
of peace, like it would be impossible for me to even try to knock off these goals. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? Because I would just be so all over the place and so overwhelmed that like I wouldn't be able to
Mm-hmm.
get anything done.
Yep.
So it just helps you be more productive. It makes you just, have the mental capacity to just think of more, do more. Um, and then what was the other part of it? It was peace and her
Um.
own happiness,
Mm-hmm.
which which is not a journey. You know what I mean? That's a choice. That's a decision. You wake up every morning, you choose to be happy. It's
Oh,
not,
one.
you know what I mean? It's not like, it's nothing you have to find. You don't have to search for it. Everybody has it. You just
Oh,
have to decide it, you know? You just have to put it on in the morning like a piece of like a shirt, you know? This is what I am. I'm happy.
wow.
I choose it. Um, so I'm proud of you that you have decided to choose that for yourself.
Wow. And something I read recently, I think it said something like self care is not luxury, it's necessary. I'm
Mm,
probably saying it wrong, but like, we see all the self care things and we think it's always pedicures, massages, face
hmm
masks, things like that. But like, it's not like something that we have to do to treat ourselves. Like it's something that we just have to do every day, like just to exist. Like we have to take care of ourselves.
mm,
Um, it's like, again, it's not always about like what we may consider extra. Like, oh, I'm gonna do self care today. I'm gonna go to the spa. Like
mm,
it's getting enough sleep. It's saying
mm,
no. It's setting boundaries. It's all these things. And um, self care is just important. Period. And um, I'm happy that you're in that season again. I love it. I'm in that season
mm.
too, girl. It's a
Yes.
lifestyle, like she said.
And I want
It's a
to add self
choice.
care is
Mm-hmm.
choosing happiness, self care is
Mm-hmm.
protecting your peace. Everything that she just said in this thing, like, it's
Mm-hmm.
true. It's not, drinking a bottle of wine or taking
Mm-hmm.
a bubble bath. It could be part of it, but you know what I mean? Sometimes it doesn't have to be that material. It doesn't have to be, something that you can hold.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like it's just that inner part. Take care of yourself. And also
Mm-hmm.
like, be mindful of we said this before in I forgot which episode it was. Maybe it was self-awareness.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about being mindful of just your atmosphere and what's around you. That includes
Mm-hmm.
people, places, and things. Like, be careful of the not be careful, but be aware of the people that are in your circle and what they bring to the table.
Mm-hmm.
If do they have goals, or they working on bettering themselves, like that, just like that energy just feeds, you know what I mean, like it multiplies.
Mm-hmm.
And be aware of what you read, what you watch, what you
Mm-hmm.
eat. Like just be aware, and that's going to help also with your maintaining your choice to be happy, and
Yes.
with protecting your peace. Because if you go home, let's say for example you have roommates and your roommates are um giving you issues at home or whatever, like it's real hard. We already got so much when we go walk outside the door. It's so much. As soon as we walk out the door, it's just stuff. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And we don't want to go behind our own closed doors and still have stuff. So it's like, maybe that's a change we need to make to protect our peace. Maybe we need to find a new roommate. Maybe we need to, I don't know, fix whatever that is within our homes. Just so that we
Mm-hmm.
should have that, at least that. We should have that. We should go home and be, okay, whew, put that stuff away, you
Mm-hmm.
know?
Take off
So
your
maybe it's just,
armor. Mm-hmm.
yes, yeah, and be able to relax and not like hold that tension. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and because that comes out physically. Like, we get sick, we get all types of viruses and whatever just from stress.
Mm-hmm.
We get all types of our body responds to things like that.
Oh.
Um, it's serious. So like
Mm-hmm.
at all costs, like when she said protecting my peace, I'm like at all
At
costs.
all
Like
costs.
that's an action. That's like something you do. Like it don't just happen. Like you have to know. You have to be intentional about that.
Like peace is the real bag. Like peace is more
Peace
important
is
than
the bag. Say
like
that again for the people in the bag.
peace is the real bag. Like money,
Wow.
cars, clothes, bundles, frontals, weaves, nails, all that. Like no, if you don't have peace, if your mind is not
Mm-hmm.
clean, like if you don't, and again, this is something that people struggle with every day, like myself
Mm-hmm.
included. Like you have to like train and retrain your mind. Like you have to train your thoughts. You have to keep
Yeah.
that place clean. And again, like you gotta fake it until you make it sometimes. I'm gonna be real.
Mm.
Like when she said like when T said happiness is a choice, like even if you're like, I'm not really happy, you have to fake things until they're true, manifesting.
Mm-hmm.
Like you have to, like, because when
Mm-hmm.
you retrain your thoughts and you like really work on that, among other things, like man, it's so major. And I really started realizing that last year, how important our thoughts are. Like like
Mm.
it is so important. Like
Mm-hmm.
if you think this and you think that, you're thinking so negatively, like of course that's what's the
Mm-hmm.
outcome is going to be for a lot of things. Like ugh, we don't realize.
When you
We don't
go ahead.
realize. No, you can
No,
go,
it's
baby.
major. Like when you listen to these interviews with all these like excuse me,
Mm-hmm.
like celebrities, and I'm not saying everybody's end goal is to be a celebrity or
Right.
whatever, but when you just and it could be anybody, like the the thing that a lot of them talk about is their thoughts. Like,
Mm-hmm.
they saw this thing happening and they just kind of like blocked out all that outside noise
Mm-hmm.
and they just made it happen. Like, um, and not saying like there's anything in particular that you want to go for, but it just makes it easier once you do have that peace and once you do have your mind in order and you're able to store things in the categories that they're supposed to be in and it's not just like a whole mess in there. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and you can just go in and pick out what you need. Like, you know what I mean? You gotta organize that like you organize your closet. Like you gotta make
Mm-hmm.
sure that you putting the time in to just make sure that every like I like that word clean that you use. Like
Mm-hmm.
I really like that. Like just make sure that everything is clean up there. And it just makes everything so much better in the physical life.
Ugh. It really goes hand in hand. Like it really does.
Because there's some things that I hadn't thought about that I didn't even think was a possibility,
So,
and now I can hold it in my
I'm
hand.
about to cry. I cannot, girl.
It's powerful.
You.
It's powerful. The way that we literally create our own worlds. Like it's that deep. Like it's serious.
Mm-hmm.
Like we literally create the way that we live in the world that we live in. Like we create it.
Mm-hmm.
We have that power.
This is real life, guys. Like 2019, early 2019. No, was it 2019? Maybe 2018, early 2019. Like I did not believe in this. Like I did not believe that. Like my thoughts held so much weight in my life. This is real life. T's
Mm,
been a believer of that for a minute, and I would listen. And I'm like, like I just. So this is
mm-hmm,
real life. Like I'm using myself as an example to show. Like don't think like, oh, y'all just think that. Like it's working for y'all. Like, no, like I legit like a year ago or 2 years ago, like did not believe in this. And I can say like just like changing my train of thoughts, training my train of thoughts. Like
Mm.
it's caused a lot of great benefits in my life.
Hmm. And it's not to say that bad things are not going to happen. I
Oh
think that's a
yeah.
misconception
Mm-hmm.
that like, oh well, if this still happens, you know what I mean, and
Mm-hmm.
a really bad thing happened, things are you that's something that we don't have control over. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
things are going to happen like always. Things are always going to
Mm-hmm.
happen. But we can still manifest good in our lives. Like it doesn't all have to be bad. Like we can still manifest the things that we want, the things that we need. We can manifest good in our lives. We can manifest happiness. We can manifest peace. We can manifest that job that we want or
Mm-hmm.
whatever. I was really trying not to make it like monetary, but
Yeah.
um even well, it doesn't the job that we want doesn't have to be like a high paying job. It just be the job that we want.
Mm-hmm.
But like, it's possible. Like Ren said, I mean, even like me a few years back, I didn't think it was possible either. Like I just thought things just happened the way that it was supposed to happen and that's it. Like until I realized like no, I'm empowered
Mm-hmm.
and I have control over my life through my thoughts.
And also, like, we can't prepare or protect ourselves from these bad things that can happen, or from,
Yeah.
we like by having a negative like outlook, or like, by like even by being anxious or anything like that, we're not protecting ourselves for the future. Like if it happens, when it
Mm-hmm.
happens, we're gonna go through it then. Don't go through it
Mm.
twice, 10 times, 20 times,
Mm.
because it's not making you stronger. Yeah, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like we think like, oh, I'm gonna just, I'm not gonna think that I'm gonna get that job because that's not gonna happen. I don't deserve that. Dreams don't come true for me.
Mhm.
Like we think that makes
Mm.
it easier. We trick ourselves into thinking like, yeah, I'm
That's
prepared.
bad.
It won't. It can't. So like,
Manifesting happens both ways. I'm sorry, go ahead.
that too. That too.
Hmm.
So it's okay to think positive and want the best for yourself and dream big, and I mean, if something bad does happen, when it happens, you go through it. Like God bless you, and
Hmm.
like it's tough. Life is tough. I 1,000% get that. But what if positive things happen? Like what
Hmm.
if?
Hmm. Hmm.
Man.
Just speaking on that, like when we try to prepare ourselves for what may happen in a bad way,
Mm-hmm.
that right there is what is sending that energy out that this is not going to happen. Like we just made that happen. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm trying to say? Like,
Mm-hmm.
for example, if I say, and I really don't even want to say this because I don't want to put out any negative energy, but if I say, you know what I mean? Ooh, I was going to say use something. I'm not using the podcast.
Wait, what you about to say?
No, I'm not even going to say it.
Okay.
If I say like I want to buy furniture or whatever, and then I'll be
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, I'm never going to be able to get furniture.
Okay.
Not no, not like that. I want to say, oh, it's going to be really hard for me to get this piece of furniture that I
Mm-hmm.
want. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's the dude. I don't want to go to the energy that you're putting out is saying, okay, it's gonna be hard for you to get it, so I'm gonna make it hard for you to get it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That's what you just manifested.
I agree with that.
Now you can change that and be like, you know what? I'm gonna get this. Period. I'm going
Mm-hmm.
to get this. There's nothing else surrounding that. There's no hardship. There's no preparing myself for if it don't happen.
Mm-hmm.
No, bump that. Like I'm going to get this. Period. I want this couch. I'm gonna get this couch. Period. That's it.
Right.
And that little thing, like we don't realize how much weight those little tiny words have.
Yeah.
Like, even if it don't sound too negative when I say like, oh, it's gonna be hard to get this. That
Mm-hmm.
don't sound too negative, but that's negative.
Mm-hmm.
And that's energy.
It
And
is.
that energy
Mm-hmm.
manifests itself. So now you're not gonna get it. Or now it's gonna be real hard to get it because you just made it so. It's work though. It's work.
Oh, it
Like,
is.
we can sit here and say, oh, just say I'm gonna get this chair.
Right.
And you know what I mean? Like, it sounds crazy when we saying it, like, okay, she just say I'm gonna get a chair and then a chair going to drop down from the sky.
No, you
No,
gotta.
it don't work like that. It don't work like that. Like you have to work,
Mm-hmm.
you have to really believe it. That's the hard part. Like
Yep.
there's work that comes along with it. You can't just be like, oh, I want $1 million, I want $1 million. and then a million dollars gonna fall out the sky.
Right. You gotta put
No,
work behind it, period.
you have to put the work behind it. You have to really, really believe that one, you could get it, two, you deserve it,
Mm-hmm.
and it's gonna happen.
And that goes for when you pray too. Like what is
Mm.
it? Prayer without work is that? Wait, what's that saying?
Ooh.
Prayer.
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking
Oh my
about.
gosh, I gotta Google it.
I know exactly what you're talking about too.
I'm always trying to say this, and I always forget it. Prayer without. Wow. Okay, prayer without works is dead. So
Mm-hmm.
you know, I mean,
Did we
you
just record a whole episode without cutting? I'm sorry.
I know I'm hyped. I'm real hyped. I'm real
Come
hyped.
through, Chapter 30. What? No editing?
I'm
Okay.
real hyped. I'm real hyped. But
I'm sorry.
yeah,
So
like
prayer without work is
yeah,
dead.
you gotta pray and you gotta do your part too. Like God, please, and you
Yep.
gotta do what you can do because He's going to meet you. He's gonna surpass it, but you gotta do your part
Mm-hmm.
too. But
Oh yeah.
I wanna just end this and say something that I have on my Instagram page. Follow me at Miss Cake Phrase.
Hey.
A little quote. It says, a declaration. I am in control of the what ifs I give power to. I choose peace over worry.
Mm.
So all I want to say is, what if it's amazing? Oh, but what if what? No, what if it's absolutely amazing? You know, like
Mm.
peace over worry.
That just spoke to me. That just really spoke to me, and I feel like it's a whole nother episode.
I know, girl.
Wow, what a way to end that one.
This was fun.
Well, Streets, thank you so much for tuning in and just listening to us just talk.
Right.
Just the fact that you guys do that is amazing. We haven't shouted out some numbers in a little while,
Oh
and we haven't really
yeah.
shouted out states and countries and like that. But I
Mhm.
do want to let you guys know. Is it okay if I say this number
Um.
of listens?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah.
We have over 1.5 thousand listens,
Mm-hmm.
which like y'all don't even understand. When we first started this, we were like, okay, if five people listen, okay,
Uh-huh.
cool. Like, it just blows our mind every time we just see the numbers go up and we see people, students still tuning in. Even while we were on our hiatus, the numbers were going up.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait, where did these 200 listens come? We didn't even drop an
Yeah.
episode. Um, so just to all of the new Streets members, all of the loyal, dedicated Streets members that have been here from day
Mm-hmm.
one, to all the people that sent us We Are Here, to all the people that give us feedback, whether it's constructive or
Mm-hmm.
just, positive, to all of the people who rated and
Mm-hmm.
left reviews. Next time we're gonna have to, or we can do that. You want to shout out some names real quick that sent
Yeah.
reviews?
So
Let's do that real quick.
you going there now? You going to it?
I'm
Okay.
I'm trying to find your screenshot because I don't know where they left it at.
Um.
Streets is, I mean,
The
chapter 30
streets.
all over the place. Okay, so this person says, listen to damage was the subject. And they said, such a well-rounded show that covers a wide range of topics. The co-hosts are so real and relatable. They made me laugh and made me reflect. Definitely added them to the rotation. Thank you, Tamara.
Thank you.
Tilt the break off Dawn.
Thank you.
Thank you. And then somebody just wrote, keep up the good work with the sunglasses emoji. Oh wait, that's JFK 2188. So that's just two quick ones. Maybe we'll start shouting out more people
Yeah, that'd be a good idea.
as we go along. Sorry, just made that up. But
Hey, that's a good idea.
chapter 30 progressing
Seriously.
live. All right, y'all. I gotta go make dinner for my man.
Oh,
So
oh, oh.
and I gotta go. Bye,
Gotta
streets. Love
go.
you.
Bye, streets.